What's up guys, not Super Mario here and welcome to today's video. We are almost at the end of 2020 and of course as every single year I'm gonna talk about best and worst movies of 2020 or that particular year. I've done this like for 3-4 years in a row, but before I do best and worst I'm gonna do some underrated movies of 2020. And even though this year was kind of shitty for movies and it was really hard to do top 10 best. It was really easy to do top 10 worst. But there were some movies that in my opinion were underlooked, underrated, and hopefully now that with my help with this list are gonna be more appreciated and more people are gonna see them. And of course, if you have any movies that are not gonna be on my list, leave it down in the comments down below. Let's talk about underrated movies. And also you have to know this list hasn't been like, there's no particular order to the movies that I'm gonna talk about. They are just, in my opinion, underrated and there's 10 of them. So that's pretty much it. So without further ado, let's start with the first one. First movie on my list is Another Round. Danish movie, or aka Druk, I think it's pronounced in Danish, starring Mads Mikkelsen. I've seen this movie like 2 days ago and I honestly had zero knowledge on what this is. I saw Mads Mikkelsen on the poster and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna check it out. And gladly I did. I'm very glad that I did because this movie is awesome. It's about this four teachers that teach at the same school who try to improve their life by drinking alcohol, and how this alcohol and the effect of alcohol can amplify their enjoyment of life and how successful they are in life. And it's very interesting, very unique way of telling a movie about alcoholism and problems that come with alcohol. And of course, Mads Mikkelsen is absolutely incredible in the movie. I think he should be nominated for an Oscar. This is just probably one of the best, if not the best performance that I've ever seen from him. And he's always awesome, even if the movie is not so good. I was really blown away by how this movie was done, what were the topics that the movie dealt with, because movie has funny moments, has heartwarming moments, has heartbreaking moments, and the way actors, these four four teachers, the four main characters were like connected in this movie. I really believe they're actually friends. The acting in this one is absolutely stunning, and if you haven't seen it, go see it. Next one is much more fun. It's Gunzakimbo, starring Daniel Radcliffe. Daniel Radcliffe actually had a pretty amazing year. There's one more movie, Escape from Pretoria, that he also stars in. That's also amazing. Not on my list, but check that out as well. Gunzakimbo is this fun, crazy movie about how Daniel Radcliffe gets guns on his head, like guns got screwed on his hand by somebody, and now he's a killing machine in a video game, in a live action video game. This movie is crazy, it's bonkers, has big action sequences. It's just a lot of fun if you love like just ridiculous action and ridiculous storylines, and everything's crazy and everything works. Daniel Radcliffe is awesome in the movie. It gets gory, it gets crazy. Everybody is shooting each other because it's a live action video game. And even though it's fun and ridiculous, you kind of wonder, would people watch that? And I would say yes, they would. Next movie on my list is Bad Education, and if I'm correct, this is an original HBO TV movie, so I don't even know if it can be considered for an Oscar, for Oscars. I hope it does, because Bad Education, starring Hugh Jackman and Allison Janney, is absolutely phenomenal. It's based on a true story about this big controversy and big, big money laundry thing in a high school in America. And wow, I was blown away by how this movie was amazing. The majority of time when I watch movies about like this big corporation thing is that something goes wrong and people just steal money, I'm not the biggest fan of. But the way this one was done and the acting in it and directing, I think it was phenomenal. Hugh Jackman and Allison Janney should be in consideration for an Oscar if TV movies this year are, I don't know. Oscars every year change the rules, and 2020 has been a weird year, so I don't even know if TV movies or original TV movies can be considered for an Oscars. But if you haven't seen Bad Education, go see it because it's awesome. Next movie is actually a Russian movie called Sputnik. Sputnik, I don't know the pronunciation. And it's about this astronaut that comes back home, and it has alien inside of him. And now they're trying to get rid of that. I think I'm a huge sucker of space movies, so that was first win of the movie. But the way the movie was crafted, the way it was shot, the cinematography in this one, and the stories, like how they're trying to get this thing out, and how the system in Russia would work around this stuff to make them to get something out of it. And even though you're kind of wondering, should we be okay with what the aliens are doing? It's a very interesting movie, really well done. I was blown away by the cinematography. Acting was really great, and it's one of those sci-fi space alien movies, like let's say Life 2 years ago, that I was like, you know what? Nobody has seen this, and it's so good. And I wish that more people would see it. So maybe you will now that I talked about it. Next movie on my list is this one really small indie movie, Never, Rarely, Sometimes, Always. First of all, I have to say this movie blew me away. Had zero knowledge on what this is. I was like, one day, yeah, I've got this, let's watch it. And it's about this young teenager, like around 17, 18, I'm not really sure, that goes to do and try to do an abortion. And you have to understand this is not going to be a movie for everyone. Not because of the topic, because the topic is very important, and just because of the topic you should watch it, but because it is really slow, and it really shows how hard it is for a woman to go through something like that at that young age. Every time is hard, even if you're 40 or 50, but how hard it actually is to go and do an abortion, what the person goes through, and it's really subtle at showing how difficult it is, and it can get slow. But for that reason, I actually love the movie. The actress who plays the main character, this was her first movie ever. She is absolutely phenomenal, sells this role, she kills it. I mean, incredible stuff. So I would really recommend you watching this movie. Next one is I Am Thinking of Ending Things, starring Jessie Buckley and Jesse Plemons, directed by one and only Charlie Kaufman. And yet again, this is a movie that is gonna be really hard to process, really hard to like. Yet again, a very slow movie, very dialogue heavy, and very existential. It's not happy. This movie is not happy. It's gonna leave you with a lot of questions about yourself, about the meaning of life, about life existence, how much things we hold very close to us and never let go. I think the performances in the movie are absolutely incredible, and it's one of those. This movie is very accessible because it's on Netflix, but because of the topics and its pacing, that it's very slow and very dialogue heavy. You've got to like. There's a scene that is happening in a car for 20 minutes, and you've got Jessie Buckley and Jesse Plemons only talking. And I know for a lot of people that's not gonna be enough, or it's not gonna be like, oh really? Now I'm gonna watch a movie of two people just talking. Well, yes, listen to what they are talking about. I think it's very well done. Even though yes, it has a lot of dialogue, but everything they're saying, it's important, makes sense. And at the end of the movie, you're wondering, this was heavy, this was tough. I have a lot of things to think about. I am now questioning everything, and it's very existential, and I love it for that. Next one is The Boys in the Band, another Netflix movie that was actually based on I think a play. I don't really know all the details, and it's about this party of 7 gay men, and now this another person comes that is friend of the main character and really don't know where he is in his life, what 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 he is, how he feels sexual wise. It's really conflicting and very emotionally tough to watch this movie, because this man go through a lot of like inner struggles, inner questions, and the way it's portrayed. Yet again, another very dialogue heavy movie. I felt like I'm watching a Tarantino movie when I was watching this movie. Yet again on Netflix, so go see it. I think it's phenomenal. Jim Parsons gives his best performance ever. If you would ask me, I would put him for an Oscar nomination for Best Actor, because I think he blew me away. He's always incredible, but in this movie I was like, oh my god, you're showing us so many levels, from deep stuff, funny things, I mean, emotional things, depth. I mean, I was blown away by this movie. It's very funny, fast paced, the dialogue just goes like, and it's so beautiful and well done. I was blown away by this movie, and unfortunately, not enough people have seen it. Maybe now they will. Next movie is The Outpost. This movie came out of nowhere. I was like, Scott Eastwood, Orlando Bloom in a war movie. This is not gonna be probably something great. Yeah, well, at the end, this movie was very intense. Yeah, the editing at times can be very choppy and all over the place. But this movie has quite a few surprises. The tension is built throughout the movie, and you've got like the last 30 minutes so epic, so crazy, all over the place in the best way possible, and you really feel for the characters. Scott Eastwood is probably is giving us the best performance ever in any movie, so that's an achievement on its own. And it's like a movie that hasn't been like marketed at all. Like I said, I saw the poster and I was like, war movie, there's gonna be shooting, maybe an action movie, but it's so much more. It's about this war base in the middle of Afghanistan, like in the middle of mountains, and then Taliban attacks. It's crazy, really crazy. Maybe the editing helps the craziness of the movie, but at the end of the day, I really enjoyed this movie, and I really liked the way it was done. Possessor is the next movie on my list, and this one I was like, whoa, this is a type of movie that I'm gonna enjoy. So this movie is about this secret agency who, with the help of some chips that they put into your body, inhabit other people's bodies to do the dirty work for other people. They kill people, they do things to help people or to take down people. I said people many times, but yeah, it's awesome. It is weird. It's existential yet again. A lot of great performances. Christopher Abbott is having an amazing year, in my opinion. In this movie, he is incredible, very subtle. The way he's actually portraying somebody else who is in his body, so awesome. It's really hard when you're actually, if you've seen Face Off, even though Face Off is not the best possible comparison to this movie, but when somebody else is actually in your body and you have to act in a way they would act if they are in your body. Hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, it has some great action. It's very gory at times, but it works. It's not, this gore is not just without any purpose. It makes sense, and that's what I like about gore. If it is in the movie, and if it is a lot in the movie, if it makes sense, I don't mind it. I hate useless gore for no particular reason, just because, yeah, we have R rating, let's do it. But The Possessor, it's one of those movies that, yet again, it's not gonna be for everyone, but if you like this, like, secret weird things about people being in other people and this weird reality or weird world that these characters are living in, you're gonna enjoy this movie. And another actually very weird and the last movie on this list is Vivarium, starring Imogen Poots and Jesse Eisenberg. It came out very early on in this year. Yet again, very weird, but the production design on this is awesome. The plot is very like, you wonder if that something like that would happen to you. You would be like, I would go crazy. You've got some characters in this movie that are very scary, but not traditionally scary. Just their appearance or the way they act in the movie, you're like, this would creep me the hell out. Jesse Eisenberg and Imogen Poots gave they gave amazing performances. This is yet again one of those movies that majority of people are not going to enjoy. First of all, it's very weird. The whole structure and the whole plot is weird. But if you can get over that, and if you appreciate filmmaking, you're gonna love this movie. And it's one of those that not a lot of people have seen. And it's sad to say that and see that movies like Vivarium or The Possessor, or I don't know, Never, Rarely, Sometimes, Always, that are small movies but done really well, are not seen by a lot of people. It's just sad. So yeah, that's gonna be it for my most underrated or underlooked, or however you want to call it, movies of 2020. Don't worry, I'm gonna do best and worst probably tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. If you have any of the underrated movies of your own, share it down in the comments down below. Let's talk. I'm sure I've missed quite a few movies that are underrated and I completely forgot about them, or they're just not on my list because I don't think they're as underrated that you maybe think. But yeah, share your opinions in the comments down below. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and if indeed, leave a like, hit that subscribe button, share this video all over the place, click that bell icon to get notified when I upload, and I see you next time.